Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We are on part 15 of our What If Civilization Started Over scenario. In the last episode, we saw the continuation of the classical age, as most importantly, we saw the expansion of what the world knows about Africa. We saw a lot of new countries forming and expanding around this region. We also saw the full linkage of this continent. Literally, every single country is connected, unless you're on an island per se, like the Indonesian guys are the ones over in Britain. But now, we are on the final episode of the Classical Age. It's a short one, but it's probably the biggest one yet, and it's going to be going out with a bang. And since I have a limited amount of time to record this before the video just doesn't get recommended to you on YouTube for some reason, I gotta speed this up. Before I do jump on into this, I do want to say that I've been trying to do these videos in one take. So if it sounds scuffed and weird, that's why. This is to prioritize having fun recording rather than spending time editing and doing all that stuff. And I did just upload a teaser for this video, and this is a big one. Anyways, let's start off over here with the yellow team because they're going to do some more expansion. And by expansion, I'm talking about how the square lines doesn't exist anymore. And you are wide open. So the yellow team will begin to prepare their forces, and from here we're going to see their forces crossing the border on into the banana colored country. They will take the coastline, and from here this country will very quickly collapse as they will lose their capital, and the yellow team will fully capitulate this country. From here, the yellow team will just completely annex this thing. And yeah, now they're on the border of the circle lines, which is a little concerning for these guys, but that's not any of our worries, because it's of your worries, because you are the next prey. And do I even have to? This country will get absolutely swept. They're first going to lose their coastline, but after this, the remainder will surrender and will get annexed into the Roman Empire. And at this point, the yellow team is looking pretty big. But for now, we're going to actually leave them because we're going to head on over to Africa, because yeah, these countries are going to be doing some expansion. More particularly, these ones in South Africa have a lot of work to do to divide up this land here, and they're going to be working towards that goal. Starting off with the pink country, they're going to expand more inwards in their northern areas, as this area is a little more, I guess, welcoming to their expansion. This region wants to probably have its own sovereignty. It's a little harder to expand into, but we will see the red team and pink team trying to expand into it, and they will somewhat be successful. The pink team more so than the red team. But for now, this thing right here, this little area, is probably just going to wait till it can gain its own independence. From here, we head down to the southern region, where we are going to see something like that happening, as we're going to see a new orange country being created in this little gap area here between the yellow team and parts of the green team. This will be a brand new country that will go ahead and set itself up. And yeah, might as well get this over with, because we're gonna see yet another country forming over here in this region. And this will be a weird Zimbabwe kind of thing. I don't really know what this is. It's hard to tell without lakes and whatnot. But for now, this is what our country will look like. From here, that leaves this little gap, which gives way for this new purplish country to form. And yeah, South Africa is slowly being divided, and we're going to see more of this throughout the next few episodes, as Africa will go ahead and fill itself in. But we're not done with Africa quite yet, because the Sudanese country will go ahead and expand once again. They haven't really been doing much, but they've been trying to regain their stability after, I think, they lost Eritrea. I might be wrong, but they're going to expand outwards into these areas of the southern Nile, and they're going to try to make a name for themselves. I don't know how they're going to do that, but they're going to create this border that I really like, actually. I really like the shape of this thing. And we're going to actually see this continue as we head up on to the blue Egyptian country, as they will extend their border much deeper into inland Africa and the Sahara. And this is the new borders of the blue team. From here, we move on to the Libyan country, which I like the eastern border of. So for now, I'm just going to do this area in the Sahara. Just going to change that up just a teensy bit to look like this. And from here, we really only have one country to edit, and that is the Cyan team. And from here, we just need to draw a wacky line because this thing is already pretty large and it's not going to want all this desert territory to administrate. So we're just going to be looking at this for now, and I'll update the size of these symbols for alliances when the time comes. But for now, I'm not going to touch it. And yeah, from here, we head on over to India because stuff is going to be happening here. More particularly, we're going to see the dark purple country launching an invasion into this blue thing here. And yeah, dark purple team forces will very quickly begin to push in as this dark darkish medium blue country is unable to really brace itself, and eventually it's going to lose its capital. But that's not before the brown team tries to pick up scraps and reform its weird Indian Union thing. And yeah, it's worth a try, but you're not going to be able to get very far. From here, we're going to see the brown team kind of backing out of the war. It's weird. They're going to gain more land than they have occupied, but they're going to be forced to back out of this war because it's very unpopular within their state. From here, we're going to see this dark blue country kind of just disappearing from the map. So, yeah, bye, dark blue country. And now we get to leave this region as India is slowly uniting under militaristic principles, but you know what? That's fine. But now we are heading on over back to Europe to the yellow team because they are once again expanding. And this time they will be expanding into this red country over here. No one protects this thing, and I don't see why anyone would. This thing is an amalgamation that shouldn't exist on this map. And yeah, they're very quickly going to lose control over a lot of their western territories, as the yellow team is very quickly able to maneuver through this region. From here, we're going to see this southern area getting cut off and completely taken over by the yellow team. At this point, the red team will go ahead and completely surrender to the yellow team. But unlike all the previous peace deals before, the red team will not be fully annexed by the yellow team, and instead only their southern regions will be taken over. This is kind of questionable because why would the yellow team not annex the whole thing? But the real answer is they are going a little too much for their own good. But now let's take a break from all the wars and all the expansion to talk about the Greek country. Because the Greek country has been rapidly progressing towards making their side of the yellow religion much better. And yeah, we're going to see why they want to do that. Because we head on over to the yellow religion here, where if you follow the religion that is known as the gold one and you're in the yellow team, some bad things are going to happen to you. And very quickly, we're going to see the yellow team beginning to quote unquote clean the religion that exists in this region. And the Greeks and all these Eastern Europeans aren't very fond of that. So we're kind of just going to see like a mutual agreement forming through most of the remainder of these countries that are like, let's stop this if it tries to expand into our area again, because obviously it doesn't like how our religion exists. It's separate enough, and the yellow team is power hungry. They don't want this to exist. This is why they started expanding in the first place, and there are two goals that the yellow team really has. First of all, to unite all the yellow religion, and second of all, to cleanse any other groups that used to be a part of the yellow religion. So Finland and the gold religion over here, which is a very vast amount of territory. But the yellow team has already taken a large chunk of what they actually do need to take in order to complete their goal. So I mean, they're not far off. It's not like they're just going on a wild goose chase. But yeah, from here we're gonna see them making a move. And this move is very, very big because it's gonna see a very big response. Yellow team forces will be seen on the Balearic Islands over here in the Lime team. From here, the islands will be seized, and the yellow team will kind of just be silent about it. And then the next day, a landing will be made in northern Tunisia in the Cyan team. The yellow team is now at war with the Triangle Alliance. And yeah, that's not good. If you're at war with three countries at the same time, the chances of you winning are a lot lower. But the fact that the yellow team was the one who struck first implies that they are more capable than we know. So, yeah. From here, we're going to see the yellow team very quickly beginning to move their forces into the Tunisian area up here. Or I guess this is kind of Carthage. And they're going to take the capital of the Cyan team. From here, they begin to push down the coast, but eventually they will be stopped by Triangle forces. We head on over to the Lime team over here. We'll have an amphibious landing over here in their eastern territory near Catalonia. From here, we head to the northern Algerian coast, where yet another landing by the Yellow team will see much success in expanding. And from here, the Yellow team doesn't really have any opposition. And that's going to change, as a whole bunch of countries will go ahead and join this war if I can get my mouse to work. What is going on? Okay, there we go. Anyways, sorry for that little error there, but we're going to see a few countries joining up with this alliance here. The first country we're going to see joining up is the Libyan country, as they don't want to see their allies, or I guess neighbors more so, getting completely beaten around by a foreign power. And yeah, they're going to join up with this alliance to help secure that. And as well as that, we're going to see yet another country joining this alliance, which is a little bit of an unexpected one, which is this great country over here, which has been building relations with Egypt, and more so, a lot of these African countries, and they can sympathize for what is happening to the Triangle Alliance here. But for now, they're kind of just going to be involved, but they're not really going to be able to do anything. From here, we are going to continue to see the war occurring, as Yellow Team forces will not be stopped, but they're going to be slowed down in their expansion in the Lime Team. And God, what is happening with my mouse? Um, Not stuff I want. I don't know what is happening here. Of course, this happens when I record, but yeah, hopefully there won't be any problems. But as I said, we're going to see the Lime team being able to successfully halt these. Eventually, they're not going to like completely reverse the advance, but it's going to be halted. From here, we head back to the Cyan team, which will continue to lose coastline as it's been stopped in progressing further southward and eastward, but not over here in this area, as this whole coastline will fall. From here, they're going to begin to push inwards, as they are going to see a whole bunch of success in doing so, and the Yellow team will occupy a lot of the Cyan team. At this point, their forces will begin to push into the Moroccan country. I don't know what's going on with the color, because I've changed the color like a lot, and I think I can't tell what's going on. Okay, there we go. But yeah, we're gonna see Yellow Team forces making their way over here into Morocco. They're not gonna get much, but they're gonna make their way in, which is pretty big. But now, a huge change will happen, as a new front will open up against the Yellow Team. They won't join the Triangle Alliance, but the Greeks will join the war in order to stop the expansion of the Yellow Team into their religious regions. Greek forces will begin to rapidly push up through newly occupied Yellow Team land, and the hatred between the religions is enough, even on the side of the Greeks, to encompass a lot of territory very fast. And this is concerning to the Yellow Team, because they were not wanting this front to open up. They didn't think that the Greeks would come to the aid of the Triangle Alliance. I mean, technically they didn't, but they kind of are, just not really officially affiliated. But yeah, this is happening. This will allow for a massive counteroffensive by the African forces over here in the southern region near the Carthaginian capital, and they're going to almost make their way back up, but they won't be able to make the way to the city entirely. From here, we will see a pushback in forces in the Lime team, as they will go ahead and push back a lot of the forces in the southern region here, as they now are kind of rooted up to the Catalan border here. From here, we're going to see the Catalans getting involved in this conflict because they see it as an interest to themselves. and they will go ahead and occupy the Balearic Islands. Who are you fighting for? Who knows? But that will cut off all the connection between the yellow team and this little group over here, which will allow for the lime team to completely reclaim it. At this point, they've also lost a lot of the connection to the front in northern Africa, so we're going to see the Moroccans pushing them completely out, beginning to push back the front within the Cyan team. At this point, the yellow team is losing land on all fronts, and things cannot get any worse, is what I would have said if they hadn't gotten worse. We're going to see a rebellion in the north of the people who have recently been conquered, and these people will very quickly begin to protest, and it devolves into this, and probably not protest, more like uh, deny stuff that the government wants. I don't know how it would really work at this time, but we're gonna see these groups rebelling. This area over here is like a weird mixture of religions at this point, so it's a little iffy on what exactly would happen there, but for now, we're going to see it rebelling. From here, we're going to see this region over here falling under the control of the rebellion. And at this point, the yellow team is absolutely cooked, and they will make a last-ditch effort to get out of the Cyan team, and this will go about as you expect. They're going to lose a lot of forces in doing this, and from here, we're going to see the Cyan team launching amphibious invasions into the yellow team. From here, we're going to see an invasion into Sardinia, as well as one into Sicily and Malta. At this point, we're going to see the yellow team going ahead and surrendering to each of their opponents in this war. So let's go ahead and see what this looks like. And of course, I'm not going to make a cut here, so we'll be doing it in real time. Starting off with Catalonia. They're going to be gaining land from the Lime team, as they're going to gain these 3 islands over here, the Balearic Islands. It's more than that, but there are only 3 that are really shown here, so we're only going to talk about the 3. From here, we're going to see a lot of countries returning that I actually just saved, because it's easier to save them than having to recreate the border. So we're going to see these countries reappearing on this map here, and yeah, simple as that. From here, we can get rid of this little blob of purple, and as well as that, we can get rid of these blobs of purple in the south here. At this point, we have this little region here, which will actually be given over to this independent country here, instead of back to the red team. I don't know why they would do that. Maybe this guy has something to do with it, because they occupied all this region here. Maybe they have a little bit of control in the government of this guy. And from here, we're going to see a few last changes, and those all have to do with the Cyan team, as the Cyan team will be annexing the entirety of the island of Sardinia, as well as the entirety of Malta and the entirety of Sicily. This is a pretty humiliate. I can't speak. It's gonna I don't know why I can't say that. Humiliate. It's gonna humiliate the yellow team a lot. And the yellow team will actually survive. They're not gonna be the country who will be falling in this video, as it probably could have been expected. They're not gonna be the one that will be biting the bullet here. And we're gonna see that here in a moment, after my mouse decides to be competent and add these capitals back on this layer here. And I'm sorry that I didn't put these two's capitals down, but they're gonna have capitals where they are here, and that will hopefully be permanent. I don't know though. Anyways, from here we can disable the major cities layer, and now head on over to the Middle Eastern region, where something will be happening. Something that has been in the works for a while. We head to slightly outside of the Middle Eastern region to this dark purple country here, who will be joining up with an alliance, the only alliance they can really join up with, and that is none other than the Diamond Alliance. Was that my Duolingo? Why was that so loud? I don't know if that was audible, but that was crazy. Don't distract me from the lore. Anyways, this country will join up with the Diamond Alliance, and Yeah, can you guess what they're gonna do next? Well, yeah, we're gonna see the Diamond Alliance betraying the Green Team. The Diamond Alliance was on good terms with the Green Team for a while. Um, I don't know if I explained exactly what happened here. If I said something, it's probably not true because I'm rewriting the story now. And yeah, the religion of this region is the main player here. That's what this whole age is about. And really, this is actually after the classical age happening because the classical age would end with the fall of the Roman Empire. But yeah, we're gonna see this video extending to this region here because we need to end one of the OGs. And unfortunately for the green team, that's gonna be them. And from here, we're gonna see these forces beginning to push in because of religious reforms. The green religion over here is a little weird because the green team itself is a theocratic state. It enforces this religion. It probably has pushed into this region here and has tried to kick out the red religion. Whereas this kind of purple country is trying to go for more like the Indian religion here. But unfortunately for them, they used to be allied with the green team. So the green team's like, don't do that. But now that they aren't in the alliance, they've gone ahead and formed a coalition between every member of the Diamond Alliance against the Green Team. And yeah, as I said, these countries will immediately send their forces in. The first country to do so will be this Indian country over here, who will begin to send their forces into the region of what's modern day Pakistan, as they begin to push into some of the most populated regions of the Green Team. As well as this, we're also going to see this weird tiny maroonish country pushing straight down in hopes of reaching the Strait of Hormuz and cutting the Green Team in two. The pink Persian country will go ahead and launch a quick invasion into this region, cutting off this little region over here, which will very quickly fall under their control. At this point, we're going to see them very quickly lining this coastline, as the Green Team may not be as strong as they really say they are. And yeah, from here, we're going to see the green team already missing out on a lot of land. And at this point, it's kind of understandable because this thing is on the watch list for absolute obliteration anyway. So this is kind of just them getting it early. From here, we're going to see them beginning to lose the most to this maroonish country here, and no successful counteroffensive will be made, and eventually, this whole region over here will be cut off from the rest of the green team. The maroon team will take a quick advantage of this, taking a lot of land here, and eventually we're going to see this region falling over to the weird Persian country. At this point, the dark purple country has seen some slowing down, but not complete stoppage, as they've also cut off a whole region. And for simplicity's sake, they're going to capture the whole thing. And at this point, a civilian government overthrow will overthrow their government and then in place a monarchy, which is kind of weird. Civilians revolting and then putting up a monarchy. That's weird, but it's going to happen. And from here, we're going to see a brand new government taking over in the green team. It's going to be this new color here. And now we get to take a look at what this peace treaty will look at like, as we're going to see these countries taking over a lot of territory outside of their main borders. The Persian country will expand down into these regions here. And yeah, that's a healthy bite of territory, isn't it? And from here, we're going to see this maroon country over here getting an even healthier bite, as they will be annexing all this territory down to this region here. And that's an even healthier chunk of territory. It makes the borders kind of ugly, which I'm going to change here. I'm going to give this region back to the new gold team that has formed here. And at this point, the only obvious thing left to change is over here in this Pakistani area, as the weird Gujarat region, Indian country, will go ahead and annex this region over here. Anyways, that's actually going to do it for today's video, and I really hope you all did enjoy. If you made it this far into the video, make sure you do subscribe. That helps out a lot. Liking the video also shows that you enjoy this type of content and you would like to see more. And that's all for me. I gotta end this video, gotta record more, and I will see you all in the next episode.